This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Yeah, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. That was my man Jason Mraz, who got a perfect score, of course, for his passionate Paso Doble.
Paso Dobles.
Okay, Tori's very passionate about Paso Dobles. Last night on Dancing with the Stars, so the 5 remaining couples dance for their lives. Very dramatic. With one facing elimination, Ariana Maddox from Vanderpump Rules wowed the judges with her elegant foxtrot. Meantime, Charity Lawson got her first perfect score for her quick step. All right, Marvel star Xochitl Gomez made the judges cry with her waltz.
That is beautiful.
Wow. And the underdog of the competition, Allison Hannigan, also danced a waltz, but ended up at the bottom of the leaderboard. So that means she's being eliminated, right? But when it came to results, Allison was actually the first to be marked safe. But in a huge plot twist, nobody was eliminated, and all 5 couples are going through to next week's finals. Karen, did I give that the justice it needed? There we go.
Bravo!
There we go. Very exciting stuff.
Is it?
They dance for their lives.
No, I'm not saying, and first of all, I have done a complete 180 on this show. I just always glance at it. I'm a comic. I never knew what this even was. And since I've been on the show, I've been like, these are some incredibly skilled dances and dancers, not hating on the content at all.
Welcome to 2023.
Right. I know. What I'm saying is, I feel like, Jeff, what they eliminated by not having any elimination is the angst of somebody getting eliminated. That's the entire point. I'm not even like on the whole everybody gets a ribbon thing. When you get down to the last 4 or 5, everybody's good. And that's when you have to make the tough cuts, and that's when you generate buzz about your show. I don't think they should have cut Sam. I don't think they should have cut Tori. But if everybody gets through, you've eliminated
This
it.
is a full 180 for Al Jackson, so let's give it up.
I'm open.
Woo, this is a big
I am
deal.
open. I'm open to stuff.
Say you cut Jason Mraz, you probably cut a lot of that viewership for the next week.
You know who you cut? You cut Hannigan.
That's a good point.
You cut Hannigan. She didn't do well. Why is she saved? I'm with Al. You get rid of the dead meat, the big, what do you call it, the heavy extra weight. You dump it overboard.
So when Allison comes on the show, you're going to call her dead heavyweight?
Yep.
Mark this for when Allison's on.
What's the point of watching if nothing happens? I'm watching dancing. That's great, but I want to see the competition.
This was an anomaly, though.
Okay.
These judges don't hold back. These aren't judges that give out blue ribbons. We even talked to Carrie Ann Inaba, friend of the show, who looked fabulous last night, by the way, and that perfect, glittery, shoulder.
Did she have a sharp shoulder?
Oh, sharp shoulder,
Love
Tori.
a sharp shoulder.
But the
I
thing
think
is,
she's stunning. That's the word to describe her. She's a stunning
and a
looking
lovely person.
Yes.
And a lovely person. But no, they're not one to do that. So the reason why they did that is because they felt all 5 of those dancers gave their absolute best performance. So they are warranted to all stay there. Now, you're not going to see that next week.
Okay.
Because they
Maybe
know
2?
that they have to eliminate.
Maybe they get rid of 2.
Next week's the finale.
Well,
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
You can't have
the
5
whole
going
finale?
out.
Yeah, it's over.
the
next
shebang.
week.
That's too many people.
The whole
Jason-
kit and caboodle.
Like Shabazz. Jason Mraz.
We'll take
you're
home the Mirror Ball
hoping-
trophy next week.
Well, you will see eliminations, though. Up to that, they're not just going to get rid of 4 people and then crown him.
Listen, I don't know what they're going to do, Sam, but someone will have the Mirror Ball at the end of next
So
week.
they should have trimmed the fat. That's what I meant to
No,
say. Get out of there.
Wow.
They
Get
all
out of there.
deserved it last night.
You know what, though? I can't go from 5 people to 1.
But somebody deserved it a little bit more.
I agree with
Sam,
that.
that's the
Okay.
thing. It's got to be. It's going to hurt.
Here's what I don't like. Here's what I don't like. The viewers dictating how producers produce the show. There was no perfect 10 scores. Now everyone got a perfect 10.
Because they did phenomenal.
No, you can't. No one gets a perfect 10.
Jeffrey Schroeder.
Listen to me. Listen to my point. The viewers write in and say nobody got a perfect 10. Carrie Ann Inaba didn't give anyone a 10 the whole season. Now everybody's getting 10s. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so everybody go through. I
that's
don't
not
like when the
fair.
audience
It's not
dictates
true.
what production does.
That's not true. I watch Dancing with the Stars every year. Sorry,
Really?
I still have my leaky eye. And that's not true because...
You watch it every year, but yet you don't know that there's going to be a finale?
Well, but the way you pose... He's just
That's the
mad
way you
because
win an
I'm
argument on
going
the bus.
against
So annoying. You're so annoying.
You're so
I
annoying.
I will
Wait,
say-
can I finish my point
Oh.
before
Yeah.
you both rudely interrupt me?
Yes.
Thank you. So the whole thing is,
Women power.
if you look at the last 10, 15 seasons of Dancing with the Stars, the perfect 10s always come at the end because those are the best dancers. So it's actually par for the course right now that people are getting perfect 10s. It's not this, they're caving to the demands of the producers or the viewers. That's not fair. That's not fair.
You win, because guess what? I don't care. All right, so some stars are weighing in about how they feel about aging. Alicia Keys, who's 42, told Cut Magazine she's beautiful and she doesn't care about aging. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She says, as you grow older and stronger because you're not seeking validation from people. That's true. But Cher, who is 77, wishes she could turn back time.
If I could turn back time.
She told the Today Show she hates aging and would give anything to be 70 again. And Valerie Bertinelli, who sticks her nose in everything, is 63 and is finding it hard to wrap her head around aging because she spent more time as a young person than old. Good math, Valerie. Let's watch.
You know, I'm seeing parts of my body that are like sagging that didn't used to like sag. My forearm. It's like, what the hell is that? I just don't. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this aging stuff, right? Because in my brain, I am still this young, goofy, let's have fun girl. It's just mind-blowing.
That was a long clip.
I forgot you were on TV.
Jeez, I was like, dude, who's this lady?
I'll tell you this, though. I feel her. I definitely feel her. Not even so much like I feel old, but I feel the same. And I have to remember how I present to the world. And so, like,
how old do you think you feel? For real? Like, what age?
I still feel like I'm like 28.
Me too. I feel always 28. That's the number.
And I'm
always.
like, especially as like culture and society changes, like, you know me, I'm a goofy, huggy, laughy guy. And I've had to really check that and like really suppress who I am as a person because society and culture has changed around me. And so I feel like I've responded in kind. But I definitely understand that, you know, when you feel a certain age, but then somebody, I told you, really quickly, my whole perspective changed when I was playing pickup basketball. Me and my buddy and those two kids were like, what are the teams? And he goes, it's me, you, and those two adults. And it just, I never have been the same person since then.
It's true.
It's like, that's how people see me.
And we need to know how people see us because when I always have like these young teenage babysitters come over, I'm like, hey girls, what's up? You know, how are you? And I'm not trying to be cool. I really do.
That's how you act.
That's how I act. Right. And then I go in the car and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 43.
Yeah.
I remember being 14, 15 around 43-year-olds. I'm old. I'm not their peer. And they don't see me as their peer.
You're not one of them.
It's like a tough realization to come to.
Yeah. I have a hard time because I'm trying to like lose a little bit of weight and gain some muscle, and it's much harder as you get older, the metabolism, and I'm not willing to like not eat a bagel. Like, of course not. But apparently I have to, and it's just my body doesn't respond the same way, and it's, you know, you just have to realize that you're getting up there.
What do you think, Jeff? Because I feel like you put a lot of effort into your physique.
Not a lot. But I do, and I work. I
go to the
out
sauna.
to.
It's a good thing.
How's your mental?
Mentally, I do it more for mental purposes than I did as younger as for the physique. I wanted to look good. Now it's a mental thing. If I don't do that, if I don't challenge myself in some way every day, it comes out. Right?
Do you feel like a youngin' though?
I do feel like a youngin', but I realize how old I am. You know, I do realize.
What
how
age
old
do you
I am.
think you are? It kind of in your brain.
In my brain?
Yeah, for real.
You know what? It's hard because I don't think I made great choices in my 20s, right? And I think I kind of evolved in my 30s. So I like where I'm at in my 40s.
Nice.
You know, and I don't
answer.
mind the aging. I like those pictures. Again, it's different for male and female,
For
whatever.
sure.
But I like those pictures, like the old actors, like up close and personal, and you see the weather, you see their experience.
Yeah.
I like that, you know, and everyone's trying to run away from that in some aspect, and I'm kind of embracing it. I know my age, I know my capabilities, I know what I can do, but mentally I can do whatever I want.
That's amazing.
What he said.
I'll take that. I'll take what he's saying.
Okay. Well, I won one, Sam won one, and Tori's trying to get back in her championship gymnastics body. Pictures pictures at the end of the show.
Pictures
Oh, wait,
will be
we
there.
have none.
You
Coming
have.
up on DBL, our interview with
Cartwheel.
Morgan Fairchild. She talks about her new movie, Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas, and a new book reveals shocking details about Family Feud. Did contestants really have to take a test so Richard Dawson could kiss them?
Talk about cringe.
Oh, that one kiss was.
Oh my
what was
God.
Oh, that girl wanted some.
It's
She
not
looked in his
right.
eye.
It's taken by him.
Honestly,
Are we live?
we don't want to step on this segment, but man.
Can I just say,
don't
Richard?
step on it.
Can I just? Okay, then I
Don't
should
step on
Okay.
it. Don't step
Talk
on it.
about stepping, talk about Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, Paso Dobles. Okay, let me do this, if I can. So Paso Dobles is the most angry and electric and passionate. Here, back up a little bit. I'm gonna do a little dance. Africa, back up. What's that?
What's the lambada? I thought that was the
Lambada is not anything close to the Paso Dobles. I don't know what the lambada is. So the Paso Dobles has a lot of stamping. It's Argentinian, I believe, and it's two lovers, and they're.
Do they have to be lovers?
Yes, there's a story, a narrative, like the tango, and they see each other, and there's a lot of this. Am I gonna break the stage? Possibly. It's like, no, that's what you do, and that's what these do. And there's a lot of this in the Paso Dobles, and sometimes there's a cape. And sometimes they go, and when they do it, eye contact is the most important. So you can't just be like this. It has to be angry. And Jason Mraz went from being like, I'm yo, to like, come to me. He did, and you got to take that Spanish, South American heat to it too. And there's got to be strict posture. So usually when you practice the Paso Dobles, you put on a back brace so that you can't bend. Any type of bending is not okay. And so as you move, there's a lot of sidestepping, a lot of this bowl imagery, matador, I am positive, and then there's a lot of this, and then there's a lot of capes come towards me. They're angry, but at the end, they come together. I think it means passionate double, Paso Dobles, but I'm kind of making that up.
That could be.
Welcome back, Tori. If you check out our YouTube breaks, did a lot of Paso Dobles.
I'm winded.
Oh, yeah,
It was,
she
I got a
it was
cramp.
legit. I wanted to
was.
make fun. It was very good.
She even pretended to be a bowl.
There was both, yeah.
Okay, you could watch the YouTube.
All
All right. So check this out. A new book about the history of showbiz is revealing some shocking details about the long-running game show Family Feud. So the book says contestants on the show had to
That
undergo
one right
a
there.
mouth test.
Look at this one, this one.
For herpes. Listen, the original host, Richard Dawson, would kiss female contestants on the mouth, as we're all looking at right now. Richard hosted the show in the 70s and 80s. Listen to this. He said he kissed the women to help calm their nerves. When it came back on TV in the 90s, Richard stopped the kissing.
Really?
But guess what? They got canceled after one season.
How
so
do you
people
know?
like the mouth kissing.
No, they don't.
Let me just say something about Richard Dawson.
'Kay.
All right? He was allegedly drunk. Almost constantly
I've also heard
drunk,
that allegedly,
okay?
yeah.
We got a couple
Smoking.
messages about the same for you.
That's all right, I'll take it.
Check that mug.
Yeah, check that mug. Dawson would smoke.
Yeah.
He would drink on the show and then blatantly sexually assault women. And we were all like, and so.
Hey, a lot of them were like really into it.
Yes, but some of them, like weren't. And we're showing the good ones. I'm just saying.
I mean, it just
hundreds.
again goes to show how much we have evolved. Though.
Thank you. And
women-
why we have Me Too
We
movement.
have evolved. Go ahead.
They
Yeah.
said the women knew this was happening. He doesn't
Right.
discriminate. He gets a little baby.
He
and
gets
an
the
old
grandmother,
Yeah.
but But let me just say, when we all discuss about the Me Too movement and going too far, it's sort of things like this that became so normalized that we had to make a movement in order to say, we don't want that.
Right.
So when we talk about cancel culture, this is the good type that I talk about. Accountability. This is cringe, disgusting, and non-consensual. I don't care what you say. You come on
but
and...
they did know. I agree with what you're saying, but I think you're taking it, like,
Too
I think
far.
sexual assault in the workplace and taking advantage of women and you know, against their will and cornering them, I think that's the Me Too movement. Was something that you agreed to on a game show at the time was consensual. I don't know if that's what the movement is about.
But what if you wanted to be on Family Feud and you knew you had to be,
But what if you didn't
I did see
want
one.
to?
I saw one woman give it a side
Yeah,
cheek.
she turned her face. But I think Jeff's point is this is more a sign of evolution.
Right.
Because at
Right.
that time,
Maybe
this
you're right,
was
maybe you're
seen
right.
as normalized
Right.
and consensual. They were talked about it by the producers. In fact, a lot of different people would make fun of it and sketch it out. You see it on European Vacation, National Lampoons. They did a whole sketch of this. So I think to Jeff's point, this is just going to show that we have become more progressive and more equitable as a society. Thank God.
I think it's something we should be proud of, that we're looking at this and this looks crazy. That's a sign of evolution. So we should be happy.
And maybe I did go too far. I just think it's weird that that was like what we all expected to see on our TV.
Of course.
That was so bizarre to me.
We have evolved.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Morgan Fairchild. She reminisced with us on what it was like to work with the late Matthew Perry.
From coast to coast, states across the country are seeing multiple cases of a mysterious respiratory illness found in dogs. But what about cases in the Lone Star State? It's a question pet owners need answered. So let's verify. Has the respiratory illness in dogs hit Texas? Our source is Jessica Fisher, who is a certified professional canine nutritionist. 6 News also reached out to several dog clinics. They all confirmed there have been no cases in Central Texas yet, but that doesn't mean your pet is off the hook.
We're very likely to see it. I just don't think it is spreading as quickly as a lot of people are suggesting.
Fisher says it's been around for about a year now.
We originally thought it was a virus. It now appears to be a bacteria that we previously did not know of.
While there are still lots of unknowns, there are things you can look out for.
Your dog is going to be lethargic, maybe a loss of appetite, and then a cough is going to start. But different from a kennel cough, this cough is wet. It can lead into pneumonia, which leads into stays at the ICU vet, the ER vet, that can be very, very expensive. And sadly, a few dogs have lost their lives.
Experts recommend avoiding large groups of dogs because it can be easily transmitted.
If we can avoid dog parks, we can avoid boarding your animal.
Most importantly, Fisher says you must take care of your dog's gut health.
If we can get our dogs on a balanced fresh food diet, if we can onboard probiotics now ahead of time, their bodies are going to be in much better shape to be able to handle anything that comes their way.
So we can verify no, there are no reported cases in Central Texas yet, but it's important to take precautions now before it's too late.
For 6 News, I'm Sydney Deshawn.
Welcome back. She's a star whose roles are unforgettable. Now Morgan Fairchild is lighting up the holidays with her new movie. Earlier, we caught up with her. Take a look.
5 legendary divas.
If she's doing the show, I'm not.
Together at last.
Fasten your facelifts, ladies. It's going to be a bumpy weekend.
Yes, please welcome to DBL, Morgan Fairchild.
Thank you.
Your new Lifetime movie, Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas. I have to ask you, what are you most thankful for this holiday season?
You know, I'm very, very thankful for a lot of things this year. Unfortunately, my fiance passed away in July.
Oh, sorry.
And he had Parkinson's, but actually died of long COVID from heart attacks. And I had just finished this movie the week before. I'm very grateful that we got the movie in before the strike. And then I had a play to go to out of town, which got me out of town. And I was working through the strike, unlike many of my friends, and distracted from what I was going through. And then Paul Rubens died, and Suzanne Summers died, and then Matthew Perry died. So it's been a weird year. Yeah. And I've been very, very grateful and say a prayer every day to God. Thank you for the work. Thank you for keeping me going and keeping me healthy. Thank you for everything you have given me, because I'm still here.
Yeah.
and hanging in.
Yeah. When you're surrounded by a lot of loss, sometimes you can be even more grateful for your aliveness, which is amazing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, your co-star Linda Gray was on our show last week, and she mentioned that female actors of a certain age get fewer opportunities to work. And I wondered, have you ever experienced ageism?
Oh, certainly. I think every woman in Hollywood has. I mean, if you're over 25, there's a certain amount of age. I mean, it's very funny when you see these guys who are 60 with girlfriends on screen who are 25. But there is a certain amount of ageism. Yeah, there always has been in the business. And even though, people have become aware of it and there's a lot more going on with the unions and with things trying to make sure that it's minimized, it's still always there. And it even starts early. I remember one of my first big miniseries, I was doing a thing based on a Harold Robbins miniseries called The Dream Merchants, which he did The Carpetbaggers and all of those. And this was the early days of Hollywood from 1912 to 1928. And I was playing the Joan Crawford character, but I have to age from 1912 to 1928. And I was 28 years old at the time. And fortunately for me, the producers, just as I was leaving the room, having gone through a couple of auditions and given the job, told I had the job, and those days they did that, somebody said, "How old are you?" And I said 28. And suddenly they said, "Oh, you may be too old to play the younger part."
Wow.
So I just, fortunately, they said that while I was still in the room. I said, "Honey, was I too old 5 minutes ago?"
Yes, Fairchild. Check.
You liked what I was doing then.
Yes. Love what you're doing now.
I just have to give it back to them,
Thank you.
But I was fortunate I was in the position to hear them say that before they decided not to cast me.
Thanks for you.
Because I was too old at 28.
Good Lord.
Yeah. We should have followed that up with, but this face card does not decline, okay?
What?
Your face card does not decline. The face card, child.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, honey. I work at it.
So
these old glamour girls, we hang in. We're old broads hanging on by the skin of our teeth.
I love her.
That's awesome.
Well, you mentioned that you had, this has been a season of loss. I just want to know what you remember about Matthew Perry.
I always flash back to that first day on the set when I was on. The show had not been on that long, and it wasn't a big hit yet. I was the first celebrity they brought on to have a part on it. And when I took the part, I just remember Cicely Tyson had called me and said, "You're too young to play that guy's mother. He's a grown man." And I'd been playing teenagers, and I said, "Cicely, at some point we all have to make this transition to playing older ladies." And I'd seen the show. I thought it was good. Hey, I was right. And but the first day on the set, Matthew comes running over to me, as only Matthew could. This very tall, kind of gangly and very happy puppy dog comes bounding over to me and says, "Oh, you won't remember me, but I used to hang out on the Flamingo Road and Falcon Crest sets with my dad." And I said, "Who's your dad?" And he said, "John Bennett Perry." And I said, "Oh my God, you're John's son. You're that little kid that was on our set." And I didn't realize. And then I thought, well, I guess I am old enough to play this kid's mother.
DBL Nation, you can see Morgan and Ladies of the 80s at Divas Christmas on December 2nd on Lifetime.
Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome.
This is actually one of the text messages I received. It claims to be from USPS. And let's get a closer look at it. It says a package arrived at the warehouse but could not be delivered. It then asked me to click on the link and fill out the rest of my address. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And there's a few reasons why I could tell that this was a scam. To get help with the facts here, we have Tom Bartholomew, president of the Better Business Bureau and the United States Postal Inspection Service. Okay, so first, the United States Postal Service tells us USPS will not send customers text messages or emails without a customer first requesting the service with a tracking number, and it will not contain a link. Bartholomew adds, with the holiday season in full swing, scammers are trying to take advantage, and if you click on the link, that's where they will try to get more information.
And then they just keep on asking you questions. Another pop-up comes up. Well, what credit card did you use? And unfortunately, people are still answering these questions.
Here's a way you can spot that this is a scam. If you take a look at where it came from, it's not a number, but a random Hotmail address. Instead of trusting the random text, go to the source itself.
If you think it might be real, go directly to the site that you bought it from, check the order that way.
So Bartholomew says these scams are becoming more common, especially with people buying gifts online and taking advantage of those Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. So before you fall for this, take a breath, look at who or where it's coming from, and navigate to the site where you bought the gift to clarify the status of your package. With your Verify Fact Check, I'm Megan Bragg.
The latest iOS 17 iPhone software update includes a new feature called NameDrop. It allows people to more easily share contact information by holding their phones near one another. Multiple law enforcement agencies nationwide have posted warnings like these, advising iPhone users to disable the new feature to avoid automatically exposing their personal information to potential bad actors.
I don't want anybody touching their phone to my phone or my kids' phones and getting information.
So let's verify. Does Apple's NameDrop feature automatically share your contact information with other nearby iPhone users? We reached out to these sources and conducted our own tests to verify. Here's what we learned.
You can quickly share your contact info with others using NameDrop.
Both iPhones must be unlocked and within a few centimeters of each other in order to use the NameDrop feature. Once a connection is established, your phone will vibrate and glow. Then you'll get a prompt to share either your phone number or email address. You can also choose to only receive contact information without sharing your own. But unlike viral posts claim, no information is shared without you clicking one of those options. According to Charlotte Hooper with the Cyber Helpline, the NameDrop feature simplifies sharing contact details, but still provides you with the final say in if information is shared. And the Bangor, Maine Police Department agrees. So we can verify, no. Apple's NameDrop feature does not automatically share your contact information with other nearby iPhone users, despite the warnings you may be seeing on social media. NameDrop is automatically enabled when you update to iOS 17.1. If you want to disable it, just open up Settings, tap General, then tap AirDrop and turn off Bringing Devices Together. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. If you're planning on remodeling a bathroom in your house, be sure to avoid some common mistakes. We're talking about it in today's tips, sponsored by Jacuzzi. First, it's important to have a set budget. Missing this step can cost a lot. Next, make ventilation a priority. Forgetting vents can make your bathroom vulnerable to mold. And finally, plan ahead. It may seem simple, but not paying extra attention to the layout can cause issues in the end. If you want to start your remodel, Jacuzzi can help you do it the right way with a spa-like experience. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Visit JacuzziBathRemodel.com or call 800-990-6837. Al, you've been doing some
34.
34.
I have that memorized.
Dang. Why did I say 7?
I don't know.
You know what? Jacuzzi is like heaven, like 7. That's where you got it.
I wonder with my brain sometimes. So we'll see
Me
you
too.
Friday?